Okay, councillors. So councillors, staff, members of the public, welcome to this ordinary council meeting of the 23rd of March. Could I call upon Councillor McMichael to make a civic affirmation?
We, the councillors of the Armidale region, declare that we will undertake the duties of the office of councillor in the best interests of our community and faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in us to the best of our skill and judgment.
Thank you, Councillor McMichael, and Councillor Witters to provide an acknowledgement of country.
Yeah, just I'd like to acknowledge on behalf of Armidale Regional Council the traditional custodians of the land and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging, and pay tribute to their love of land, love of people, love of culture.
Thank you, Councillor Witters. I'll call upon the General Manager to make a statement regarding live streaming.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. This meeting is being audio and video recorded, and the recordings of the non-confidential parts of the meeting will be made available on the website. No other persons are permitted to record the meeting unless specifically authorised by Council to do so. And can we ask that all mobile phones be set to silent, please? Thanks, Mr Mayor.
Thank you very much, Mr General Manager. Councillors, I haven't received any apologies, although I note that Councillor Robinson is absent as at 4:01, but she may well arrive. Councillors, having reviewed the agenda, do any of you need to declare a conflict of interest? No? All right. Moving along then to item 5.1, which is the confirmation of the minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on the 26th of March. Could I have a mover, please? Thanks, Councillor McMichael, and a seconder. Thanks, Councillor Redwood. Councillor McMichael, anything to say? No. Councillor Redwood? Right, everyone...
Mr Mayor, I'm going to abstain from voting as I was absent on that day.
Thanks, Councillor Witters. All right, councillors, let's put this to a vote. All those in favour of adopting those minutes? Thank you. I declare that carried, noting that Councillor Witters abstained. Councillors, item 7.1 is in relation to ethical decision making. So this is report is a standing item, and it's to guide councillors in making ethical decisions. So we're being asked to note that report. Details are on page 5 of the agenda. Can I have a mover, please? Thanks, Councillor Gadders, and a second to thank you, Councillor Redwood. Councillor Gadders, anything to say? No. Councillor Redwood? No. Right, in that case, let's just put it to the vote. All those in favour of noting that? Thank you. I declare that one carried unanimously. Item 7.2 is in relation to the proposed date change for the June Ordinary Council meeting. The idea is that this will be moved from Wednesday the 25th of June to Monday the 30th of June to accommodate the National Conference of the Australian Local Government Association. So we have details on page 7 of the agenda. Can I have a mover for an item? Thanks, Councillor Tabor, and a seconder is Councillor Enders. Councillor Tabor, anything to say? Councillor Enders? No. Councillors, anyone else wish to make a comment?
Can I
yes, certainly,
just say that all councils will be represented at the ALGA meeting, and it'll be good to go down there, and it'll be great to have a report when we come back on the Monday, and it'll be terrific to have the meeting moved to the Monday.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Councillor McMichael. All right, councillors, let's put it to a vote. All those in favour of moving that date? Thank you. I declare that carried unanimously. Councillors, I note Councillor Robinson has joined us at 4:04 p.m. Councillors, item 7.3 is the Council Actions Report, which summarises the actions taken on resolutions of Council from October, which is really the beginning of this term of Council. Council is being asked to note the report. Details are page 9 of the agenda and page 22 of the attachments. There is a recommendation on the screen. Can I have a mover, please? Thanks, Councillor Gadders, and second, thank you, Councillor Redwood. Councillor Gadders, anything to say? Councillor Redwood? Okay. Well, councillors, if there's nothing further, let's put this to the vote. All those in favour of noting the actions report? Thank you. I declare that one carried unanimously. Councillors, will do items 8.1 and 8.2 jointly. These are the cash and investment reports for February and March 2025. Just for those watching on the screen, these reports provide an overview of the cash and investments for each month. And at the end of March, Council held $152 million in investments and $17.6 million in cash. Also in that 2-month period, there's been in excess of $1 million of interest earned, which is a real positive. So details are from page 10 of the agenda. We are being asked to note that report. Can I have a mover, please? Thanks, Councillor McMichael. Seconded Councillor Imad. Councillor McMichael, anything to wish to say to that?
Just that it's good to have the high interest rates that we've got at the moment. And although we are expecting a little bit of, how shall I put it, turbulence is a good word. Thank you, Councillor. Yep.
Thank you. Councillor Imad, anything?
In relation to the interest comment, I'll say a good interest rate cut is good for the people.
There we go. All right, councillors, let's put it to a vote. All those in favour of noting those two reports? Thank you. I declare that carried unanimously. Which brings us to item 9.1. This is in relation to a development application at 24 Post Way, where Council is being asked to determine the development application because it involves a variation to a development standard under our local environmental plan of 2012. So consent is being sought subject to various conditions, and details are from page 24 of the agenda and 48 of the attachments. There isn't a recommendation on the screen outlining all the steps required to bring this about. So can I have a mover, please? Thanks, Councillor Redwood. A seconder? Thanks, Councillor Imad. Councillor Redwood, anything you wish to say to this?
Yeah, this is it's an interesting piece to have to come before the council because it's unusual for us to be involved in the processing and development of applications. However, in this case, because this is outside of the current LEP, we need to do this. This is a council with a strong growth agenda, and one of the things that we need to be mindful of is to grow, we need space to do it. Whilst some people might see this as not favourable, it's one of the areas that we need to undertake in our responsibilities as councillors and to pursue our growth agenda. So I think it's important for us to consider this carefully.
Thanks, Councillor Redwood. Councillor Imad.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. If I could, for the benefit of the people watching, and we'll be looking at this, if we can get an explanation as to how we got here with this.
Okay, certainly. I'll throw to Chief Officer Boyce just to give us a potted summary.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thanks for the question, Councillor. As the report outlines, there is a subdivision already approved of the block. So that was created under a concessional clause that exists in the LEP. So what Council is being asked to do at the moment is to endorse the erection of a dwelling on a lot that already exists.
Thank you. Okay, councillors, does anyone else wish to say anything? All right, let's put this to the vote. All those in favour? Thank you. I declare that one carried unanimously. Item 9.2 is around the establishment of leach-free areas in Gyro. It was back at the end of 2022 that Council sought to introduce leach-free areas. We looked at 2 sites, built one. Council is being asked to note a report that the second leach-free area for Gyro be put on hold for the time being. the details of this are from page 38 of the agenda, and there is a recommendation on the screen. So can I have a mover, please? Thanks, Councillor McMichael, and seconder is Councillor Gadders. Councillor McMichael, anything you wish to say?
Just that the second area wasn't recommended by the people in Guyra and wasn't being used. And so if people do want a second leash area and they do recommend it, we will speak to everyone in Guyra, but at the moment it's not being wanted and not being used, so that's why the motion's up on the table. Thanks.
Thank you. No. Alrighty. Councillors, let's put this to the vote. All those in favour? Thank you. I declare that one carried unanimously. Item 9.3, a gripping one. This is the public exhibition for draft liquid trade waste policy. So we're being asked, or council is being asked, to endorse the draft policy for public exhibition for a period of not less than 28 days. And if submissions are received, we will receive a further report. If there are no submissions, then the policy will be adopted. Details are from page 41 of the agenda and 91 of the attachments. There is a recommendation on the screen to that effect. Can I have a mover, please? Thanks, Councillor Enders, and seconded by Councillor Redwood. Councillor Enders, anything to say? No. Councillor Redwood? Okay, well, let's put this one to the vote. All those in favour? Thank you. I declare that one carried unanimously. Item 10.1, the Access Advisory Committee minutes. So council is being asked to note the minutes of the meeting held on the 20th of February 2025 and endorse the updated terms of reference. We have details from page 43 of the agenda and 131 of the attachments. There is a recommendation on the screen, so I'll just call for a mover, please. Thanks, Councillor McMichael, seconded by Councillor Widders. Both of whom I note are on the Access Advisory Committee. Councillor McMichael, do you wish to speak to this at all?
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I'd just like to say it's great to have the Access Committee starting again. We have a new chair. We have the terms of reference which are available, and if anyone has any questions, they can speak to us about it. The Access Committee can look at all kinds of issues, and we'll be speaking to various councils and various groups about how we can make Armidale and the region more accessible for all groups and things. It's a terrific group, and yeah, thanks very much.
Thanks, Councillor McMichael. Councillor Widders.
Yeah, I just want to give shout out to those committee members involved in the Access Committee. They're a very proactive group, and I've been on that committee and been going to it probably for 4 or 5 years, I think. And it's one of my favourite parts of being on council is watching the effort these guys put into making sure that people with access issues and things like that are actually represented and looked after. So, and a quick shout out to the staff too for the terms of reference and everything else that's been put into that. It was a really good meeting, that one I went to, and hope to see some good outcomes out of this committee in this term.
Thanks, Councillor Widders. Right, councillors, assuming there's no further discussion, let's put this to a vote. All those in favour of noting the minutes and endorsing the terms of reference, thank you. I declare that carried unanimously. Item 10.2 is the ARC Community Grants Program, where council is being asked to approve the distribution of $50,000 of grant funding to 20 different organisations across our region. Details are from page 45 of the agenda. This is, a great thing that council is able to do. So can I have a mover, please? Thanks, Councillor Imad, and the seconder. Thanks, Councillor Enders. Councillor Imad.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First, I want to thank council staff for putting this together and having all the advertising and the videos online. So I haven't complain about the response in the first grants I was involved in. I could say there was at least 60% improvement, 80% improvement in terms of the application, going from 1 out of 18 to almost 18 out of 40. And to see Guyra, the region, represented with 30% of the total grant winners. So thank you.
Terrific. Thank you. Councillor Andrews. No. Right. Councillors, anyone else wish to speak to this? Councillor McMichael.
Look, I'd like to echo Councillor Ahmed's remarks, but also I'd say it's really terrific to see so many community groups involved with the grants. We're sorry we couldn't have everybody get their grants, but we did give some in-kind money in-kind stuff to other groups. We recommended some groups apply next time, the next grant round, and we were really pleased with such a broad number of groups applying, and it's really exciting to see the huge range of community organisations that are in our region and doing such a huge variety of fabulous work. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak to this? All right, let's put this to the vote and release the cash. Thank you. I declare that one carried unanimously. Councillors, item 10.3, it's tucked away, but it is a significant one. It's the public exhibition of the integrated planning and reporting documents, where Council is being asked to endorse for public exhibition drafts of the delivery program, the resourcing strategy, the operational plan and budget for the financial year, the revenue policy and the fees and charges. Details from page 48 of the agenda and 138 of the attachments. Can I have a mover, please? Thanks, Councillor Redwood, and seconder, Councillor Gadders. Councillor Redwood, anything to say?
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Mayor. I wouldn't like to let this one go past without paying appropriate attention to it that it deserves. So, yeah, this set of documents, as you mentioned, under the integrated planning and reporting framework, has required a substantial amount of time and effort from a number of people within the organisation. So I commend the General Manager, his executive team and their teams respectively, as well as my fellow councillors for all the effort, which has been very substantial, into putting this together and the diligence required to do that. And of course, I encourage all the members of the community to read and review these important documents, because effectively they become the backbone of what we serve you in what we do in council. So thank you and well done.
Thank you. Councillor Gadders. Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak? Councillor Robinson.
These are very, very important documents, and I encourage everyone to look and read through them and see if they meet the expectations of the council over the next 3.5 years, and make a submission one way or the other. Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Robinson. Right, councillors, anyone else wish to say anything before we go to a vote? Thank you. All right, all those in favour of placing these documents on public exhibition? Thanks, I declare that carried unanimously. Item 11.1 is in relation to environmental consultants for gasworks remediation. So the item is seeking to extend the consultancy agreement for the development of the remediation plans of that gasworks off-site area beyond the tender threshold of $250,000. There is a recommendation on the screen with details from page 55 of the agenda and 537 of the attachments. Can I have a mover, please? Thanks, Councillor Redwood, seconded by Councillor McMichael. Councillor Redwood, anything there you wish to say?
Only that this is an ongoing and complex issue that we as a council have acquired due to what was formerly on this particular site and the related areas around it. And so we have an obligation to go ahead and continue the clean-up process and engage the appropriate personnel to be able to do so. So it's one of those things that don't really have a choice, do we? So I think it's important that we dedicate the correct resources.
Thank you, Councillor Redwood. Councillor McMichael?
Just to echo my fellow councillors' remarks, it's an ongoing process. Very few of us were here when it started, and it behoves us all to look at everything when we start a project.
Excellent, thank you. Right, councillors, let's put this to the vote. All those in favour? Thank you. I declare that one carried unanimously. Item 11.2 is the Kempsey Road status report, which is a regular report providing us with an update on the project, and council is being asked to note the information contained within the report. The details are from page 59 of the agenda. There is a recommendation on the screen about noting that report. Could I have a mover, please? Thanks, Councillor Enders. Seconded, Councillor Imad. Councillor Enders, anything to say? Councillor Imad? Okay, let's put this to a vote. All those in favour of noting? Thank you. I declare that one carried unanimously. Councillors, we now come to the committee reports. We have 3. So the first one is the Traffic Advisory Committee, and we're being asked to note the minutes and provide endorsement of a number of road closures to facilitate events. So the minutes are from the 1st of April 2025. Could I have a mover, please? Thanks, Councillor McMichael, and the seconder, thanks, Councillor Redwood. Councillor McMichael, do you wish to speak to any of this?
No, it's just terrific to note the big chill is coming up, and we've got a few signs, including the kiss and drop zone at Drummond Memorial Public School, which hopefully will alleviate some parking issues for the school. Always a good thing. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you. Councillor Redwood? All right. Well, councillors, let's put this to a vote. All those in favour of noting and endorsing? Thank you. I declare that carried unanimously. Item 13.2 is the relation to the Sports Council and their minutes of the 20th of March 2025. The recommendation is that the minutes be noted and that also the council endorses the committee's decision to approve a grant application and notes the changes of the Sports Council's priority list. There is a recommendation on the screen. Can I have a mover? Thanks, Councillor Enders, and seconded by Councillor Redwood. Councillor Enders, do you wish to expand on anything? No, nothing to say. Councillor Redwood? Righty, councillors, let's put this to the vote. All those in favour? Thank you. I declare that one carried unanimously. Item 13.3 are just some minutes from the Key Pillar Working Group. So 2 groups, the Future Region and the Growing Region, held meetings in March, and the recommendation is that council note the minutes. We have details on page 71 of the agenda and 678 of the attachments. Can I have a mover, please? Thanks, Councillor Gadders, and seconded Councillor Redwood. Councillor Gadders, I note that you have been elected as chair of both of those groups. Is there anything you wish to say?
Thank you for noting that, Mr. Mayor. Let me just be brief in saying for both of these groups at the moment, the Future and the Growing Group. So the Growing Group, Councillor Redwood and myself are in that group as councillors, as well as a dedicated senior staff. And then on the Future Group, Councillor Kay Andrews and myself, as well as dedicated staff. So as I said, reasonably administrative in terms of getting set up at the moment. Terms of reference, as you'll note there, have been formed, and our near-term meetings are actually bringing some subject matter experts from staff in to look at some of our related topics and take things forward from there. So I look forward to the journey with the other councillors.
Thank you, Councillor Gadders. Councillors, anyone else wish to speak? Oh, that was a move. Anyone else wish to speak? You're a second, Councillor Redwood? No. Councillors, I will note, and also for those watching, that on Tuesday next week, so the 29th of April, there is a community roundtable where we have gone out by various channels to seek interest from the community that might just feed some topics into these round tables. So that will be in the Town Hall from 4 p.m. on Tuesday the 29th of April. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. So if there's no further discussion, let's put this to the vote. All those in favour of noting those minutes? Thank you. I declare that one carried unanimously. Then item 14.1 is questions for which notice has been given. We have one question on notice, and that is in relation to community engagement and transparent decision making. It's a response to a question on notice from Councillor Robinson, and Council is being asked to note the responses. Could I have a mover, please? Thanks, Councillor Robinson, and a seconder. Thanks, Councillor McMichael. Councillor Robinson, do you wish to speak to your question and the response?
No, thank you very much. I think it's very important that the public is kept informed about what's going on, and this is one way of doing it. So I hope people will indulge me and let the community know about all these things. Thank you.
Terrific. Thank you. Councillor McMichael? Okay, councillors, let's put this to a vote. All those in favour? Thank you. I declare that carried unanimously. Councillors, that brings us to the end of the open session of the meeting. Could I please have a motion to move into closed session? If resolved, we'll ask the public to exit. So moved by Councillor Redwood, seconded Councillor Imad. All right, all those in favour of moving into closed? Thank you. I declare that carried unanimously. I welcome councillors back into the open session. I will ask the General Manager to read out the resolutions of the closed session.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. 3 items in closed session. First of all, provision of wet and dry hire. Resolved by Council that it includes Stripe Civil and the Plant Hire Panel RFTA 2024/24 under the same terms as Brycon Civil Proprietary Limited. And B, authorise the General Manager to permit an acquiring entity that has purchased a company on the plant hire panel to be included on the panel, provided that they satisfy the original panel tender criteria and agree to operate under the original terms of the acquired entity. Item number 2. Past that. A road widening of Rockvale Road, resolved by Council that they approve the acquisitions of 1,370 square metres from Lot 7 DP 751455, also known as 4439 Gyra Road, and 921 square metres from Lot 1 of DP 751455, also known as 4088 Rockvale Road, to be confirmed by indent survey at a rate of $15,000 per hectare for the purposes of road widening to facilitate the upgrade of Rockvale Road, and B, authorise the General Manager to sign and seal all documents related to the land acquisition. And item number 3, Mr Mayor, relates to water cart replacement, and it was resolved by Council that Council approved the expenditure for replacement of 2 UD-CW 400 trucks with water carts fitted at a combined cost of $663,856.38 from JT Fossey due to their serviceable age, and B, agree to the disposal of the replaced plant assets through either trade-in or auction at a combined changeover cost of $528,856.38, with the following approximate value for each asset: a 2008 Mitsubishi truck with a trade-in value offered at $55,000 and a 2012 Mitsubishi truck with a trade-in value offered at $80,000. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Mr General Manager. Well, councillors, there being no further business, I declare the meeting closed at 4:31.